this plugged in. What's going on, guys? I'm going to give it a minute here. Let everybody join the room before we get started for our Thursday night theme. It's finally Arnold Schwarzenegger night. I know some of you are excited. So hopefully it lives up to the hype. All right, let's get this going on the iPad. And then we'll get us started with our rules here in a moment. That. We need this. Turn it down. All right. All righty. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to give it a minute here. Wait for everybody to join in. Do the rules here in a moment for our big... I don't know what kind of crowd we're going to have here tonight. I know a couple people that aren't going to play because they're intimidated by the Arnold Schwarzenegger theme. There was some chatter that we may have some new players who've never played before jump on in because of the Arnold Schwarzenegger theme. So we're going to give it a minute and let everybody join in. And make sure this is working. We had some difficulties last night with sharing the presentation, so make sure that is okay tonight. All right, we're going to do our rules real quick in case we have some new people joining in tonight, or it's the same old group. Let me get the share screen option rolling. Hopefully this doesn't have the hiccup it had last night. No, it does not. We are able to roll right in. So here we go. We're going to play 5 rounds of pub-style trivia. The first round will be a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and then a round of general trivia. But it is Thursday, so that means it is our theme night. And our theme is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So be excited for that. Each round is made up of 5 questions worth 1 point each, and a bonus question that's worth 2 points. Those questions are a little bit harder, so that's why they're worth 2 points. 30 questions in all will be asked tonight. Game takes about an hour and 15 minutes or so to complete from start to finish. Here's how the game is played. I will read you the questions. They will also appear on the screen. Excuse me. They'll appear on the screen. There'll be picture clues and all that kind of fun stuff. You're going to write down your answers on your own score sheets at home. I have put the link to the PDF file for the official score sheet you can print out and use. It's also pinned at the top of the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page. You can use that. It doesn't matter. You can use any piece of scratch paper you've got lying around the house. Just make enough room for 30 answers and group your answers together by round. So I'm reading you the questions. You're writing them down on your score sheet. This is important. Please do not put any answers in the comment section. Save those for anything but the answers. I will then repeat all the questions for you. So when we do our round, I'll go through it once, and then I'll immediately repeat the entire round for you just in case you needed to hear something again or see a picture clue for a second time. After I repeat the questions, I'll give you a moment to finalize your answers, and then I will reveal the correct answers to you, and you are going to be scoring your own score sheets at home. So please play on the honor system. No cheating, no changing answers or looking up answers or filling in blanks, anything like that. We're just here for a little bit of a distraction, keep our brains exercised, and give us the appearance of being social. At the end of the last round, you're going to take a moment to add up the scores from all 5 of your rounds and put your total nice and big on your score sheet. Take out your smartphone, take a picture of your score sheet with your final score on it and send that to me via Facebook Messenger. If you're playing on Periscope, you can send that to my Twitter DMs. If you're over on YouTube and you don't have Facebook or Twitter access, you can just post your score in the comments on the YouTube feed. And if you are over on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button while you're there. As always, you're allowed to double the score for one of your rounds. And you do that simply by circling the entire group of answers for that round before they are revealed to you. So say round number 2, you think you did really good. You think you got 6 out of 6. When I give you that moment in between reading the questions and revealing the answers, put a big circle around your entire round, and you could double your points for that round. Please don't wait till after you've heard the answers to a round and go, oh, I got all 6. I'm going to double that. Or please do not wait to the end of the night and then just pick the round you had the most correct answers on and double that. When we play this game live and in person, hopefully again in the near future, Tuesdays and Wednesday nights at Firewater Saloon on the north and south side, you have to turn in your score sheets before the answers are read each round. You don't have your score sheets at your table with you. So you circle your double score option before you hear the answers. So in the spirit of the game, I ask you to do the same thing here and circle your answers for doubling before you hear them. All right, so basically, sum it up real quick. The 3 major infractions you can commit tonight is looking up answers or changing answers, any kind of those cheating shenanigans. Putting answers in the comment section is a no-no, and doubling your score, circling to double your score for a round you've already heard the answers to. Those are basically the 3 big infractions. Other than that, we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have fun tonight because it is Arnold night, Arnold Schwarzenegger theme night here at the Play at Home Trivia Nights. Yeah, it's about time. We were supposed to do this last week, but I had some technical difficulties. Didn't have a webcam that was working last Thursday night, so we had to delay it for this week, but it's finally here. Our Arnold trivia. Here's our categories for this rainy Thursday night. Arnold movies without Arnold is our picture round. It's a little confusing, but it's actually quite simple. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 movies that Arnold Schwarzenegger is in, but the pictures I'm showing you do not have Arnold. They're basically pictures of the other people or other co-star that are in this movie. So you just have to identify what movie is in each picture. They are all movies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he does not appear in any of the pictures I am showing you. Arnold by numbers is round number 2. That is all. Every answer is a number, and that is a multiple choice round. I told you guys I was going to help you guys out if you weren't super Arnold Schwarzenegger fans and give you guys some multiple choice rounds. Arnold by numbers, all multiple choice except for the bonus question. Arnold movie taglines. I'm going to read you a tagline. You know how all the posters have those taglines. I'm going to read you taglines from an Arnold movie. You got to identify the movie by the tagline. Round 4 is Arnold, true or false. That's pretty basic right there. All the questions in that round, except for the bonus question, will be true or false Arnold Schwarzenegger questions. And then the final round of the night will be general Arnold Schwarzenegger trivia, just some random questions on Schwarzenegger. I don't even know if there's anybody in the room right now. I'm not getting a lot on Facebook, this stream right here. So I don't know if I'm literally just talking to myself or we have some players, but regardless, we're going to start playing the game, even if it's just me talking to myself for the next hour. But let's do it. Arnold movies without Arnold is our picture round. You just have to identify all these movies I'm showing you that I swear Arnold Schwarzenegger is in, but he's just not in any of these pictures. So we'll start with movie number 1. Here we go. Round number 1, movie number 1. Which Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is this? And if you know this movie, and you should, because it is a classic, you know why I had to cut that picture off at the exact spot I had to. If I would have shown the full picture, I'd be getting kicked off of Facebook right about now. This woman had a very unique feature in this movie. This is Arnold movie number 1. Which movie is this? Let's move on to movie number 2. Oh, yeah. Very good villain, this guy right here. Charles Dance, is it? You Game of Thrones fans recognize this guy for sure. Yes, Charles Dance is the actor's name. Of course, on Game of Thrones, he plays Tywin Lannister. I'll never forget the first scene that they showed that Tywin Lannister made his appearance. The first thing I said was, "Hey, it's the eyeball guy from blank, 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 whatever movie this is." So hopefully you remember this movie. Movie number 3. There we go. Ooh, look at that. That's a young James Earl Jones with long hair and a big sword. Yeah, that's kind of funny. What movie is this that features this version of James Earl Jones? This is movie number 3. Let's move on to movie number 4. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. This is a classic. You probably watched it at some point last month. What is the name of this Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Here's number 5. Ooh, yes. This is a great one, too. Man, there's so many. I had so much fun putting this night together, just doing the research and remembering all the fun, silly action movies Arnold Schwarzenegger, like the ridiculous movies he's been in, and all the amazing lines he's had throughout his career. This is one of them. This movie has quite a few memorable moments and lines, and that is Jesse the Body Ventura right there in one of his movie cameos. One of 2 men, along with Arnold, who eventually became governors of states later on in life. Crazy. Who would have thought back in, what is this, 1987, I want to say, 87 or 88, this movie came out. Who would have thought when you were buying your popcorn and your snow caps and sitting down to watch this movie in the theater that you would be witnessing 2 future United States governors shooting the crap out of an unkillable alien? Good stuff. Good times. What a country. Bonus question for the Arnold movies without Arnold around. For 2 points, what other bodybuilder / actor was featured with Arnold in the 1977 documentary about the Mr. Olympia competition called Pumping Iron? Excuse me. For 2 points, what other bodybuilder / actor was featured with Arnold in the 1977 documentary about the Mr. Olympia competition called Pumping Iron? Let's repeat these real quick. Number 1, movie number 1. Arnold movie number 1. Arnold number 2. Arnold movie number 2, not Arnold number 2. Here comes number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And the bonus question one more time for 2 points. What other bodybuilder / actor was featured with Arnold in the 1977 documentary about the Mr. Olympia competition called Pumping Iron? All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute here to finalize those answers. If you think you did really well on the picture round and you want to get double the amount of points, now is the time that you circle your score sheet. So just put a big circle around your group of answers. If you don't want to do it now, you still got 4 other rounds to use that option in. We still have Arnold by the numbers, Arnold taglines, Arnold true false, and then there's the general trivia round. But let's do our movie round here, identifying these movies by pictures that don't include Mr. Schwarzenegger. Of course, we know this one. This is Total Recall and the woman with 3 breasts. We remember her. Yes, we do. That's why I had to edit this picture appropriately. There could be kids watching, but yeah, that's a memorable scene. Number 2, movie number 2, Tywin Lannister, years before, when he was the main bad guy in The Last Action Hero. It's actually a pretty good movie. This was an original movie. You know, it really kind of, I liked it. It was an interesting concept. It was a good movie. I enjoyed that one. Number 3, one of Arnold's early roles, featuring James Earl Jones with the really bad hairdo. Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian. Good. That's a good movie too. Arnold with a sword and a loincloth. Good times. Number 4, of course, we got Sinbad there. Everybody should know this one. Jingle All the Way, the Christmas classic with Jake Lloyd before he became Anakin Skywalker, and Turbo Man. Number 5, Jesse the Body Ventura and his giant cleft chin, Predator, another classic Predator. Jesse didn't make it too long in this movie, but he still has a memorable scene flying in in the helicopter before all hell breaks loose. All right. Bonus question for 2 points. What other bodybuilder actor was featured with Arnold in the 1977 documentary called Pumping Iron? This was the documentary that really put Arnold on the map mainstream-wise, outside of the bodybuilding world. Lou Ferrigno is the other guy, of course, went on to play the Incredible Hulk in the TV show. But yeah, look, that body is just ridiculous. I mean, that's crazy what's going on right there in that picture. Huh. Anywho, that wraps up our picture round. We're going to move on to round number 2. Arnold by the numbers. All of our answers for this round will be a number, and this is a multiple choice round. All of our questions are multiple choice to help any of you out there who may not be a huge Arnold geek. Here we go. Question number 1, Arnold by the numbers. How many times have Arnold and Sylvester Stallone been in the same movie? Is it 2, 4, or 6? How many movies have featured both Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sly Stallone? Two of action movies' greatest stars. All right, question number 2. How many of the installments, that's too many words, how many installments of the Terminator franchise has Arnold appeared in? Is that 4, 5, or 6? How many of the Terminator movies featured Arnold Schwarzenegger? 4, 5, or 6? How many of the Terminator movies feature Mr. Schwarzenegger? 4, 5, or 6? Number 3. In how many different movies does Arnold say his famous "I'll be back"? Is that 11, 12, or 13? How many different movies does Arnold say his famous line, "I'll be back"? 11, 12, or 13? That includes the various Terminator movies. So he said it a lot. Once that kind of became his thing, it seemed that they always tried to find a way to sneak that in there. Question number 4. How many movies does Arnold appear in that has the word day in the title? 2, 3, or 4? How many movies does Arnold appear in that has the word day in the title? Is that 2, 3, or 4? How many day movies is Arnold Schwarzenegger in? How many day movies? Movies with the word day in the title. Number 5. How many movies directed by Ivan Reitman has Arnold starred in? 1, 2, or 3? How many Ivan Reitman directed movies has Arnold Schwarzenegger been in? 1, 2, or 3? And the bonus question for 2 points. How many Golden Globe Awards has Arnold won in his career? How many Golden Globe Awards has Arnold Schwarzenegger won? How many Golden Globe Awards has Arnold won in his illustrious acting career? All right, let's repeat these real quick for you. Number one, how many times have Arnold and Sly Stallone been in the same movie? 2, 4, or 6? Number two, how many of the Terminator movies does Arnold make an appearance in? Is that 4, 5, or 6? Number three, how many different movies does Arnold say his famous "I'll be back"? 11, 12, or 13? Question number four, how many movies does Arnold appear in that has the word day in the title? How many movies is Arnold Schwarzenegger in that features the word day in the title? Number five, how many movies directed by Ivan Reitman has Arnold starred in? Is that 1, 2, or 3? How many Ivan Reitman directed movies has Arnold been in? And the bonus question for 2 points. How many Golden Globe Awards has Arnold won in his career? How many Golden Globes has Arnold Schwarzenegger won in his career? All right, give you a moment here. Finalize those answers. There's my email address for you up on the screen if you want to reach out to me about putting together your own custom play-at-home game, or if you want to hire me for a Zoom call, if you're doing some sort of either work happy hour or your book club or any kind of social gathering with a large group on Zoom, and you want to have me join and host a trivia night custom built to what exactly you want to play, send me an email, gjb1979@gmail, and we can do some business. Also, make sure you like the Facebook page, Trivia Nights with Greg, and you're following me on Twitter to get all the links to all my hockey coverage over at the Hockey Writers. Now that the season is underway, there's plenty more of that to come. Let's do our answers. Arnold by numbers. Question number one, how many times has Arnold and Sylvester Stallone been in the same movie? 2, 4, or 6? They've been in 4 movies together. 4 movies together. The Escape Plan and the 3 Expendable movies. They made 3 Escape Plan movies. I didn't even know that existed, but Arnold jumped off after the first one. Number 2, how many of the Terminator movies has Arnold appeared in? They've made 6 total Terminator movies. He's in 5 of them. Yes, he does show up in CGI form in the, what is that? The Rise of the Machines? Which one is the Christian Bale war one? Salvation, Terminator Salvation. He does show up as in CGI form, but that's not really him. So that doesn't count. So 5 movies Arnold appeared in. Number 3, and how many different movies does Arnold say his famous I'll be back? 11 different movies. 11 different movies. Again, not counting Terminator Salvation, because that's not really him. He says it in, of course, the first Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator Genesis, Commando, Raw Deal, Running Man, Twins, Total Recall, Last Action Hero, The Sixth Day, and The Expendables 2. 11 times he says, I'll be back in different movies. Number 4, how many movies does Arnold appear in that has the word day in it? 4. We're going with 4 again. The Sixth Day, The End of Days, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Around the World in 80 Days. Those are the 4 he appeared in. Sixth Day, End of Days, T2 Judgment Day, and Around the World in 80 Days. Number 5, how many Ivan Reitman movies was Arnold Schwarzenegger? And he was in 3 of them. 1 really good and 2 pieces of crap. The real good one is Kindergarten Cop. I love that movie. And the ones that stunk, Twins and Junior, ugh, and Double, ugh. But those are the Ivan Reitman movies. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Hey, if you go 1 out of 3 in Major League Baseball for your career, you're a Hall of Famer, so that's not too bad. For 2 points, how many Golden Globe Awards has Arnold won in his career? He's actually got 1. He won one in 1977. An award for the New Star of the Year for a movie called Stay Hungry. So that's his Golden Globe win. If I didn't research that this morning, I would have put down 0, but he's got 1. So the Golden Globes knew something. He's been snubbed for an Oscar many times. Those darn academies. They don't like the foreigners. All right. Number 3, round 3. Arnold movie taglines. If you're a fan of movie posters, you collect movie posters, or you just like seeing them when you go to the theater, you'll know that they all have little taglines on them to kind of give you a little snippet of what the movie is about. So we're going to use some from some Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I'm just going to give you the tagline. That's all I'm giving you. You got to figure out what movie it belongs to. Okay, here we go. Tagline number 1. When he said I do, he never said what he did. When he said I do, he never said what I did. That is on the movie poster for what Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Number 2, breaking out is an inside job. Breaking out is an inside job. What movie tagline is that? Movie tagline number 3, he's mean and he'll blast through your screen. Watch out. He's mean and he'll blast through your screen. Which movie is that? He's mean and he'll blast through your screen. Sounds dirty. Number 4, 2 dads, 1 toy, no prisoners. 2 dads, 1 toy, no prisoners. Number 5, nothing is inconceivable. Nothing is inconceivable. What movie tagline is that? Tagline number 5, nothing is inconceivable. Inconceivable. It's not that movie. But anytime I see the word inconceivable, that's immediately what I think about. That was one of our answers last night. And the bonus tagline, this one's worth 2 points. Retirement is for sissies. Retirement is for sissies. I see this and I just hear Arnold's voice. Retirement is for sissies. Which movie is this from? Retirement is for sissies. Retirement is for sissies. All right, let's repeat these real quick for you. Number 1, when he said I do, he never said what he did. When he said I do, he never said what he did. Number 2, breaking out is an inside job. Breaking out is an inside job. Number 3, he's mean and he'll blast through your screen. He's mean and he'll blast through your screen. Number 4, 2 dads, 1 toy, no prisoners. Two dads, 1 toy, no prisoners. Number 5, nothing is inconceivable. And the bonus, retirement is for sissies. Don't be a sissy. Work till the day you die. That's the American way. All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute to finalize those answers. It's Thursday. It's a theme night. We do this every Thursday here on our Play at Home Trivia Nights. And look at that. We're announcing a new one for 4 weeks from now. We'll keep doing this. When we do a Thursday night, I'll announce the one from 4 weeks out. So next week, we're going to do Oh Canada. It's going to be all Canadian trivia. We'll do some hockey. We'll do some like Canadian music, movies. All kinds of Canadian trivia next Thursday night. Then in 2 weeks on the 28th, it's a Seinfeld trivia night. Everybody asks for Seinfeld, so we'll do a full night of it. February 4th, we'll get into the month of February. We'll do a Star Wars night. We've done a couple of those already. But we'll do another one in the first week of February. My advice to you is if you have a Disney Plus account, start watching some of that stuff on there. I think I'm going to focus more on the extra stuff in the universe, not so much the movies. There'll definitely be movie questions, but we may focus on some of the expanded universe, like maybe some of the Clone Wars and Rebels stuff, or definitely the Mandalorian. I'm going to do a round on the Mandalorian for sure on Star Wars night. So pay attention to your Disney Plus account. Speaking of streaming services, February 11th, we're going to do a Netflix night. Netflix and chill, but without the chill part. Well, you guys can do the chill part, but then you won't be paying attention to me. But Netflix night is Thursday, February 11th, 4 weeks from tonight. We'll do some fun stuff, or maybe I'll do a couple of rounds on specific Netflix shows and then some general stuff, maybe around on like the current, like old movies that are on Netflix when we get to that night, stuff like that. But that could be a night for like a Stranger Things round, maybe a Tiger King round. Who knows? We'll figure it out. I got 4 weeks to do that. Those are our next 4 theme nights. Canada next week, Seinfeld in 2 weeks, 3 weeks Star Wars, and then Netflix on the 11th. But we're going to go back to our answers here for our taglines. Number 1, when he said I do, he never said what he did. That is the tagline from True Lies. True Lies. Side note on True Lies. How hot was Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie? Whew, boy. Yeah. Yes, sir. Have some, please. Yes, have some. Number 2, Breaking Out is an inside job. This is one of the few Arnold Schwarzenegger movies I've never seen. I literally didn't know this movie existed until I wrote this round last week. The Escape Plan. Apparently him and Sylvester Stallone are in jail and trying to get out. And then Arnold escaped from being in the sequels to this movie. Never saw it, didn't know it existed, and based on some of the reviews I read, I don't ever plan on seeing this one. Number 3, he's mean, and he'll blast through your screen. That's the tagline from The Last Action Hero. Last Action Hero. Back as an answer. I really like this movie. I know it's not everybody's favorite Arnold movie, but I just thought the story was so original, at least at the time. Very cool. Number 4, 2 dads, 1 toy, no prisoners. This should be one you got. Again, Jingle All the Way. Oh, look at him. He's such a, oh, look at that. Just so good. Nobody does facial expressions better than Arnold. Nothing is inconceivable. This is a terrible movie. Don't ever see it. Junior, one of those Ivan Reitman movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets pregnant and has a baby. That's all you need to know. Do not waste your time. This movie is awful. And our bonus tagline, 2 points. Retirement is for sissies. Speaking of awful Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, The Last Stand. The Last Stand. I don't know if you ever saw this. This was him as the almost retiring cop who has to take care of some ruffians. This is basically like the Walking Tall, right? Is that the other one, Walking Tall? That The Rock did the remake and they made in the 70s. It's essentially the same concept. And the funny part is Johnny Knoxville is playing like the dopey sidekick in this movie too, just like he did in the Walking Tall remake. The only reason to watch this movie is standing right behind Arnold Schwarzenegger right there. Jamie Alexander. Yes, big fan of Ms. Alexander. Otherwise, this movie stinks. All right. Let's do some Arnold true or false questions. As the title of the round says, these are all going to be true or false. Flip a coin questions. Let's see how well you know your Arnold Schwarzenegger facts. Question number 1, true or false, Arnold is actor Chris Pratt's father-in-law. True or false, Arnold is actor Chris Pratt's father-in-law. True or false? Arnold Schwarzenegger is Chris Pratt's father-in-law. Number 2, true or false? Arnold is still an owner of the Planet Hollywood franchise. True or false? Arnold is still one of the minority owners of the Planet Hollywood franchise. They still exist. They're still out there. I don't know if they still have their casino. I think they still have the casino in Vegas, but they still have a handful of restaurants across the country, I believe. Yeah, they still have a few going. Is Arnold still one of the owners? What was it? It was him, Bruce Willis, and Stallone, right? Those were the main 3 guys when that first started. Question 3, true or false? Arnold was the first private citizen in the United States to own a Humvee. True or false? Arnold was the first private citizen in the United States to own a Humvee. True or false? Arnold was the first private citizen in the United States to own a Humvee. This round we can get through pretty quickly. Let's move on to round number 4. True or false? James Cameron wanted Arnold to play Kyle Reese in the original Terminator, but Arnold convinced him to play the killer cyborg instead. True or false? Director James Cameron originally wanted Schwarzenegger to play the Kyle Reese character that was eventually played by Michael Biehn in the original Terminator movie, but Arnold convinced him to play the cyborg killer instead. Smart move if this is true. Or did I just make that up? I don't know. Sounds like something I could have made up. We'll find out in a moment. Number 5, true or false? Arnold was the first actor to ever be elected governor of California. True or false? Arnold Schwarzenegger was the first actor elected to be the governor of California. What a crazy world we live in where Arnold Schwarzenegger has been a governor of a state. And all things considered, he wasn't that bad. Wasn't that great. But based on recent events, he's pretty darn good. I've got an idea, though, going forward. No more celebrities in any elected office. Just enough. We've done it. It's ran its course. If we make it out through these next 6 days, let's not do that ever again. All right, the bonus question for 2 points. Arnold got his first taste of politics by making an appearance at a campaign rally before the New Hampshire primary for what U.S. president? For 2 points, Arnold got his first taste of politics by making an appearance at a campaign rally before the New Hampshire primary for what U.S. president? I'm not going to tell you the year because that would give it away, or at least give you a 50-50 chance. For 2 points, Arnold got his first taste of politics by making an appearance at a campaign rally before the New Hampshire primary for what U.S. president? We'll give you a hint. This president was an incumbent looking for re-election at this time. That is the hint I'll give you. He was a president looking for a second term during this election cycle. All right, let's repeat these real quick. True, false. Number 1, Arnold is actor Chris Pratt's father-in-law. Is that true or false? Number 2, true or false? Arnold is still one of the owners of the Planet Hollywood restaurant franchise. Number 3, true or false? Arnold was the first private citizen in the U.S. to own a Humvee. Number 4, true or false? James Cameron wanted Arnold to play Kyle Reese in the original Terminator movie, but Arnold convinced him to play the cyborg instead. Number 5, true or false? Arnold was the first actor to be elected governor of California. And the bonus question, sticking with politics, Arnold made an appearance at a campaign rally before the New Hampshire primary for what U.S. president? All right, I'm going to give you a moment to figure those out. Make sure you got the right coin flips. And remind you that we do this 4 nights a week. We're going to take a couple nights off, but we'll be back Sunday night for one of our normal formats with 4 different categories and a general trivia round. Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is when we get together on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Periscope at 7 o'clock. So Sunday, we'll be back to our normal formats. If you've got any category ideas you want to play, just let me know. Tuesday and Wednesday will be the same way. And then next Thursday night, another theme night. Oh, Canada. All right, let's do true-false answers. Get through this final round and get on with our evenings. Number 1, true-false. Arnold is actor Chris Pratt's father-in-law. That is true. Chris Pratt is married to his daughter, Laura, I believe is her name. They actually have a child. They supplied Arnold with his first grandchild. How would you like to show up to pick up your new girlfriend for your first date, and then there's Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger sitting there cleaning a shotgun at his, coffee table? Yes, sir. She will be home by 8 o'clock. Number 2, true or false? Arnold is still an owner of the Planet Hollywood franchise. That is false. He got out around the year 2000. He said he wasn't getting the return on his investment that he had hoped, and bailed on that project. So he's no longer part of that ownership group. Number 3, true or false? Arnold was the first private citizen in the United States to own a Humvee. That is true. That is true, according to the IMDb. So that's kind of a neat fact. So it must have been before he became governor, because you're not a private citizen once you're a governor of a state. Number 4, true or false? James Cameron wanted Arnold to play Kyle Reese in the original Terminator, but they decided to not do that. That's actually true. And way to go, Arnold, on pulling that out, because, man, would your career have been a whole lot different if he played the Kyle Reese character as opposed to the Terminator. Could you imagine? Like, his career would have probably died at that movie. Like, that would have been it. No Commando, no Predator, no Mr. Freeze. Funny how that stuff works. Number 5, true or false? Arnold was the first actor elected to be governor of California. That is false. Got to remember quite a few years before Arnold, there was that Ronald Reagan character who was governor of California. Ronald Reagan was the first actor. Arnold was number 2. And the bonus question, speaking of presidents, Arnold got his first taste of politics by making an appearance at a campaign rally in 1992 before the New Hampshire primary. He got on stage and he said, "Let's tell Pat Buchanan, hasta la vista, baby." George H.W. Bush, the first George Bush. He showed up at his New Hampshire rally in 1992. All right, let's do our general Arnold trivia. This is our final round No true false or multiple choice questions. This is going to decide the winner, though I think we know who our winner is going to be tonight because I don't know how many teams we have. It might be just Joey and Anna tonight, and by that I mean Joey. So let's see. All right, General Arnold trivia. Number 1. What is the second highest grossing installment of the Terminator franchise? Which of the, as we already discussed, 6 Terminator movies was the one that made the second most money at the box office? I think we know which one is the highest grossing one, the most popular movie of that franchise. Which one of the 6 Terminator movies made the second most money? Which one of the Terminator movies made the second most money out of the 6? Number 2, what Arnold movie was based on a book written by Stephen King? Which Arnold movie was was based on a book written by Stephen King? Question number 3. What was the name of the first sequel Arnold ever starred in? Arnold's been in a lot of sequels over the years, but what was the first one he was a part of? What was the name of the first sequel Arnold Schwarzenegger ever starred in? Number 4, what Arnold film features Jim Belushi as a sidekick? What Arnold Schwarzenegger movie features Jim Belushi as a sidekick? Oof, that's terrible casting too. Any movie with Jim Belushi is not going to be good. Oh, excuse me. Ooba. Question number 5. What game show did Arnold appear on in 1965? It's a rather famous appearance. 1965, man. What game show did Arnold make an appearance on in 1965 before anybody knew who he was? What game show did Arnold appear on in 1965? Excuse me. Man, can't stop yawning tonight. And a bonus question, final Arnold question of the night. In the 90s, Arnold appeared as his movie character in music videos for 2 different hard rock bands. For 2 points, name them both. Name the bands. I don't care about the movie characters or the songs. What 2 bands did Arnold appear in their music videos as movie characters? They were both songs featured on the soundtracks for these particular movies, so that's why Arnold was involved. In the 90s, Arnold appeared as his movie character in music videos for 2 different hard rock bands. For 2 points, name them both. That's back in the golden age of music videos. The late 80s, early 90s, man. That was when that was good. I know bands kind of sort of still make videos. They just put them up on YouTube or their websites. But just throwing on MTV for an hour or so, or if you're hanging out with friends, you're throwing MTV, see some videos, good times. All right, let's repeat this round real quick. Number one, what is the second highest grossing installment of the Terminator franchise? As we established earlier, there are 6 total Terminator movies. Which one made the second most amount of money out of them? Number 2, what Arnold movie was based on a book written by Stephen King? Number 3, what was the name of the first sequel Arnold ever appeared in? Number 4, what Arnold film features Jim Belushi as his sidekick? Number 5, what game show did Arnold appear on in 1965? And the bonus. In the 90s, Arnold appeared as his movie character in music videos for 2 different hard rock bands. Name them both. All right, I'm going to give you a moment to finalize those answers. Yeah. All right, let's do our answers quickly. Let's get this over with. I don't think we have many viewers or contestants playing tonight, so let's do these quickly so Joey can finalize his score sheet. Number 1, what is the second highest grossing installment of the Terminator franchise? I was actually kind of surprised when I saw this. Of course, Terminator 2, the best of the bunch, made the most money. It was Terminator Genesis that made the second most amount of money. That last one they just released like a year or so ago, was it Dark Fate? That was a bomb, box office bomb. I didn't see that one yet. This movie was not very good either, but it made a lot of money. That's all that matters, I guess. I love Emilia Clarke, but her as Sarah Connor just didn't do it for me. Number 2, what Arnold movie was based on the book written by Stephen King? That is The Running Man. The Running Man. That's a classic. I love that movie. I haven't seen that in forever. I might have to rectify that soon. Number 3, what was the name of the first sequel Arnold ever starred in? He's been in a lot. But the first one, it featured that gentleman right there, Arnold, Andre the Giant. Also had Wilt Chamberlain in it. It was Conan the Destroyer. Conan the Destroyer was the first sequel he was in. Number 4, what Arnold film features Jim Belushi as his sidekick? The awful Red Heat. Terrible movie. Jim Belushi plays a Chicago cop, go figure. And Arnold comes over as a Russian. They didn't say KGB, but that was kind of what they implied. So he was like a Russian cop, and they were trying to track down some Russian mobsters. It's terrible. You know, here he is, Russian with an Austrian accent. Just everything about it sucks, because Jim Belushi is just a waste of oxygen. Number 5, what game show did Arnold appeared in 1965. Right there, young, charming Arnold. He was on the dating game. I think he won too. I think he got to take had a date that evening. Yes, that was quite the thing. And the last question of the night. In the 90s, Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared as his movie character in music videos for two different hard rock bands. That would be Guns N' Roses and AC/DC. Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, the song from Terminator 2. He appeared as the Terminator. And then AC/DC, Big Gun, was the song from Last Action Hero. And he actually put on the Angus Young schoolboy outfit and hat in that video. I wanted to put that picture up, but I thought that would be too obvious of a picture clue. But Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, that's your final answers. And now, Joey, you can send me your score. I don't know if there's anybody else in here. I think it's just you, buddy, unless the numbers are all wrong. That's rather appropriate. You're the one that suggested it, and you're the only one that showed up. So this is the last time. I hope you enjoyed this. This is the last time I take one of your theme suggestions. You ran my entire audience right off. Nice work, guy. Nice work. I should charge you for a personal trivia night. I should charge you for what I charge to host a personal trivia night, because I essentially just hosted a personal trivia night for Team Rios. I'm going to give it a second here just to make sure there's nobody else like incognito playing along and watching. But the number says 1. So it's been wrong before, but I don't think it's wrong tonight. All right. Yeah, Joey, guess what? You guys won because you got your personal trivia night tonight. No more suggestions from Miss. I love you, brother, but this was a big old bomb. It happens. I can't help it that everybody else is lame and they don't like Arnold. It's their loss. It's their loss. We had fun. I had fun putting this round together. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for making me not talk to myself for the whole night. And I will see you guys Sunday. I don't have to make my spiel at the end of the night. Screw you, Joey. I'm leaving. All right. Good night, guys.